congratulations on such an incredible film. I think my heart has finally stopped racing from it. I just wanted to start with you, Ty, because you're returning to this universe that you started off as a child. How has it compared, this experience?
It's a lot different just because one, the more obvious things like the acting is completely different. Dalton as a child, you're just kind of supposed to act scared or scream or cry or whatever it is, but now he's a fully fleshed out character, so you can really there's a lot more to play with, and it's a lot more of a challenge than before. But it was a lot more fun, on a set like this. When you're a kid, it was terrifying, but now that I'm grown up, I really can enjoy all the scary stuff and really appreciate it more. So.
Absolutely. And Sinclair, I don't think I've ever loved the character quicker than I have with Chris. Was this similarly with you when you read the script? Were you so sold in this character?
Yes, I was. I mean, I got the script, and Chris is such a different energy, I think, than you've seen in these types of movies before. And I was just really excited to get to play around with that. I thought that she was so fun to bring to life.
Absolutely. And I really love your friendship together. Was that like an instantaneous connection and chemistry that you had?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. Kind of like the first, the first couple days, Patrick had some unstructured,
rehearsals and read-throughs.
Yeah. So we had time to just kind of get to know the characters, get to know each other, and by the time we actually started filming, we were already making jokes and dancing around. And
it helped that the on-screen relationship was a positive one, and then we could also foster a positive one off-screen.
Definitely.
Absolutely. And Ty, there's a really good kind of thread about the tentative father and son relationship in this one, as well as masculinity and reaching masculinity pressures. How was that working with your character?
Yeah, Patrick and I had a lot of conversations about just kind of how to approach that and how to make, because you need to come at it from a place where both Dalton and Josh, you can see their points of views and are still likable and they're saying some pretty mean things to each other at times. So that was kind of just navigating that and tiptoeing around that was probably the hardest part with it. But when you have such a great director like Patrick, he's a great communicator. He knows exactly what he wants and he's good at talking to you about that. So.
Absolutely. And kind of a similar question, because what Chris has to face is a lot of masculinity from the frat boys and from Dalton, and that's what makes her energy so good. How is it working with that kind of element?
I thought it was so funny that, sorry, you look up one day and you're like, oh wait, there are no girls here. There are no girls in any of my scenes. But, it was just kind of fun, and I think Chris is the type of person who doesn't let that faze her, and she's like, okay, I'm at a frat party. I don't like frats. I don't do this, but I'm gonna do me, and I'm gonna get the best out of the situation. But I also think it was a nice contrast. So Chris really comes out her most when she's perhaps not in her chosen element, but she can handle it like a boss.
Absolutely. Well done. Congratulations. It's such a great film, and thank you for talking with me today.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching Hey You Guys!
Hey, you guys!
Hey, you guys!
Hey, that's what they all say.
Hey, you guys!